wants to put the record straight a bit because, you know, we all have an opinion about her, I think, and we read a lot about her, but obviously you don't often get the chance, perhaps deliberately on her side, to hear her side of the story.
Is she hard work?
Yes, but...
in a word.
Yeah, but in a way that's sort of understandable, you know what I mean? She's hard work, she's very defensive. I mean, very defensive.
I was going to say, she's waiting to be
cold.
called.
She seemed very cold.
Well, she is. She warmed up quite a lot. I tell you when she warmed up, interesting, I think they've left it in the show, they've edited it. I mean, obviously, she was quite relaxed talking about her kids, and we talked about her recent divorce and the other partners, and we talked about Warren Beatty maybe being the man she should have been with, which was interesting, because I read the book that her brother bought a book out a few years ago, and he said that he always thought she should be with him, and I thought she just shut me down. She said, well, you know what, sometimes maybe it's the right person at the wrong time. And she sort of said that she was in the wrong place at that time for him, rather than the other way around. But she was very interested in talking about her children, and certainly I got the feeling that she wanted to show that she could be warm and that she could be funny. I mean, interestingly,
the funny bit, Jonathan, we just showed that clip. She fancies her hand as a stand-up comedian.
Well,
you know she'd fire the audience if they didn't laugh.
Well,
what do you think? Do you think she would do it?
The weird thing is this, we had an audience, this will surprise you, there were a lot of gay men in the audience one evening. I don't know, you know, why they came along that night. But
you've got a huge following.
But unfortunately, the downside to that is obviously it's lovely for the star who's got a lot of their fans, but it means that if they're real devoted fans, they're going to laugh at almost everything you say. So you're not getting a real perspective. And that in a way is a problem. However, we did do a little chunk in the show, which I think they've left in, where I asked her to be an agony aunt to the audience, and they found it. And you know what? She genuinely was funny. And it was quite a warm moment, and you could see that she has a real love for her fans, and she wanted to connect. But bear in mind, you know, you're Madonna, okay? Anything you says will be quoted and misquoted around the world. You know, people kind of want to attack you. I mean, I asked her about that, whether she has a thin skin, and she said she's not an armadillo. When people say things, it does hurt. It gets through to her.
Everybody's so terrified.
What I loved about the interview was when you talked about, she talked about her daughter saying, "Mom," you know, because we've all been through that in our time.
I never have. All my clothes, my children think are fantastic. But no, what was interesting as well, though, I talked to her, and we'll all associate with this, I think, because I'm going through this at home, because my youngest is 18. She was 18 last week. My son is 21 next week. So my son and my oldest have already left home because they're at university and they're away, essentially. And my daughters obviously can't wait to get out. So the other one. So we're kind of dealing with that terrible emotional wrench when your kids leave. And it's just the most hideous thing.
And they want to leave you as well.
Yeah, it's awful. I'm thinking of locking one of them up and just keep me but I asked Madonna about that, and I could see tears forming in her eyes when she was talking about Lourdes, who she calls Lola, when she's talking about when she moved out and when she's away. And that was the first time, really, where I've thought of her as a mum, as a woman like all the women I know, you know what I mean, who's going through the same thing.
I think her daughter, though, saw her through all those sort of, like, bad relationships, because they were always very much together, weren't they?
Yeah, and the daughter is, you know, is making doing her own thing. She's out there. But I don't know if you've seen pictures. She's got Madonna's eyebrows. She's got the bush that meets in the middle. Boom, it's like that. And
do you get scared? Because I find her scary just watching her. Always in the interview. I get really tense watching her.
I wasn't scared of her, but it's a tough job in a way. I'm not saying it's a tough job in the real world, but, you know, because you really want to do a good job for the people who want to see it, and you want to do a good job for her fans as well, because you don't want, because you know how much she means to them. And also, you know what, she means a lot to me, really. I've been a fan all my life of her, and she's an incredible woman, an incredible talent. I mean, I was looking at the stuff she doesn't talk about much anymore, the early tunes, but they're the ones I love. And you listen to, like, Cherish and Papa Don't Preach, and all those songs from back there, they're incredible. Really great pop songs. And then you listen to the more recent ones, and they're dancing.
Have you seen her change, though, Jonathan, from all the times you've interviewed her? Have you seen this now, the biggest change?
I think so, yes. I mean, the first time I met her, it was weird because she was Madonna in the full pomp and prime Madonna. And she was, without doubt, the biggest star in the world. And one of the reasons why it might be different now is, of course, she's in a different position. She isn't the biggest female star in the world. She's one of them. But no, you've got Rihanna out there, and you've got Katy Perry and Taylor Swift, and you know, so she's very aware of trying to reach that younger audience and keep the younger pop fans interested, as well as the fact that we're all going to listen. But I think within that
there's a bit of desperation in her.
Possibly so. I mean, I think there was... It's a kind of... There's a neediness in all performers. We've all seen that. There's a neediness, a desire. You were just talking about, you know, your relationship with your mum. You want to be loved by the people who are important to you, and performers, their fans are important to them as well. So there's a desire for her not to be seen past her sell-by date, for example. And I don't mean in terms of her age, I mean in terms of her music.